Madeline, great to see you again. Welcome back to Popternative.
Thank you so much for having me.
I kind of want to just go back to like that first day of set for the Black Phone 2 because there's so much kind of chatter about whether it's going to come back for a season, if we're going to see the grabber again, if we're going to see your characters. Then it's like, okay, cool, they're coming back, Black Phone 2. But what's that like first day on set like after all of that pandemonium, so to speak?
Honestly, it was quite nerve-wracking, especially knowing all the trauma that every single one of them went through in the
Yes.
first movie. So it was kind of challenging to not recreate what happened in the first movie, but kind of honor everything that they went through.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it like, when you found out you were gonna do another one? Because like I said, like you said, there was a lot that happened in the first, and it's kind of like, did you think to yourself, like, how is Scott gonna do this? Like, what is it gonna be about? Did you think about that at all?
Okay, I was very curious as to how they were going to do a second one. I knew fairly early on after the first one came out that we were going to do a second movie. I didn't know what it was about, but then Scott made us wait very, very long time before we got to read the script. And I remember when he wrote me and said, "Maddie, you are the only the second person to have read this besides Ethan. And this one is focused more on Gwen." And I started freaking out and I was like, "Scott, give me the script, give me the script. I need to read it."
And take me through, it plays like Fantastic Fest. People are gonna be able to see it in theaters. Take me
Mhm.
through that process of like people finally able to see it because it's like, does it feel like it was in your hands and now it's out of your hands because people get to see it? Like, what's that like for you?
I mean, I really just feel like it's a mix of emotions. I'm really nervous because, we have such a loyal fan base and so many people that loved the first one so much. So you definitely feel a lot of pressure, especially going into a sequel. I feel like there are a lot of nerves in the air, but I'm also so excited because I feel like we all have put so much effort and work into the second movie. I mean, just Scott and Cargill have made something so incredible, and I'm so proud of the work I put in and how it all turned out. I personally love it so much, and I feel like that's all you can do is put your best foot forward and then hope for the best.
There were a lot of moments in the first film that people loved, and like you were a meme, and like there were certain
Yeah,
things, and like your character's facial expressions, and like, you
yeah.
know what I mean? And I'm wondering, like, if you ever think about this, like, you've done a lot of films, and there's a lot of kind of moments in films. Like, do fan reactions ever kind of like, persuade your rankings of like your favorite moments? Like if there's like a scene that you did, right? And then like it's just a scene you just like did and you didn't think about it, but people love it online. Does it become like one of your favorite scenes? Like, do they go hand in hand a little bit?
I mean, I would say it definitely makes me think a little about like, oh, like I'm really surprised people love that scene as much as they did. Like this was my favorite scene. So it's interesting to see the scenes that a lot of people gravitate towards and like the difference of opinions that everyone has on the movie and like what their favorite moments or favorite lines were from the film. But I would say from the first movie, I had a lot of similar favorites that the fans did. So I was very glad to see that they liked the scenes that I liked so much as well.
Gwen versus the bullies, was that
Gwen
one?
versus the Bullies, most iconic
People
scene.
online went nut. Like, people lost their minds.
Dude, I know it was crazy. It's also I feel like it's so iconic because, it's just this little girl fighting all these like grown boys.
For sure. Okay, so we don't want to go into big spoilers, but like, what can you tell me about filming the Black Phone 2 that you're really excited for people to see that was really not kind of like element wise was not in the first film? Like, what's something exclusive to the Black Phone 2 without super big spoilers that you can share that you're really excited for people
Well,
to see?
I mean, the setting is so completely different from the first movie. I mean, we were shooting in several feet of snow almost every single day on set. It was crazy. So definitely the setting is completely different. I'm trying to think of things without giving anything away.
It's
I
hard, right?
feel
It's like
like
you're walking on
it's really
eggshells.
hard. It's really hard. I feel like every character has a very great and important arc in the second movie. Um, hmm, I
That's
feel like
that. I think that's
I'm
enough.
gonna maybe leave it at that. Maybe leave it at that.
It's so tough.
It's so hard to think of things like that on the spot without giving anything away.
I feel like Violet was in the same boat as well with Megan 2.0, where like there were
It's
so
just
many things.
it's so scary because you don't want to get in trouble.
I feel like creatives, it starts kind of because you and your sister executive produced as well recently, and I feel
Yeah.
like there were some TV or films that you watched where you were like, I want to do this. Like this is something I want to do. You know what I mean? I want to do this.
Sure,
Do you
yeah.
feel like you watch things differently now that you know how it's made? Do you
I
think
mean,
about that at all?
I feel like you can't not watch a movie without thinking about like, oh, that was fake, or oh, I know how they did that.
That's
you
why
know?
they did a wide shot.
Exactly. Or, oh, that's why they shot that at night. Or they do everything for specific reasons when filming a movie, like nothing is done on accident. So it's interesting to watch movies knowing that everything has a purpose.
Do you feel, obviously you want to kind of go where the opportunities are, and like you love a lot of different types of movies, but it's like I feel like
Sure.
you gotta continue in the horror movies. Like that's your
That's what everyone keeps saying.
I'm just saying that it would be great to see you in a comedy
I
or a
know.
drama.
I would love to do a comedy. I would love to do a drama. I love horror movies so much. I wouldn't mind continuing to do horror because it's so fun.
Yeah.
I feel like coming of age stories, I would love to continue to pursue for sure. I love getting to portray characters that actual like teens in real life are going through, like relatable stories.
Yep.
So yeah, I feel like I would love to dabble in other franchises too, for sure.
It was so funny when I spoke to Grace Van Patten a few years ago for Tell Me Lies on Hulu.
Yeah.
It was kind of because she was doing a lot of like very heavy dramas, right? And she was like, "Let me tell you something. I would love to do a comedy."
Yes, I would love to do something funny, like, for sure.
So I feel like your answer was pretty similar because I
Yes.
remember that.
Definitely.
Because it was like Tell Me Lies, Nine Perfect Strangers was like really like heavy things. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Like, it's so funny. Me and my sister we executive produced this holiday movie that we're doing. We keep changing the name of the title. I think it's called Double Trouble right now. But it's a fun Christmas movie, and it was so interesting getting to come to set every single day and not have to cry or scream. Because it
Yeah.
is such a fun Christmas movie. There's not any gore or any scary things like that because it's family friendly.
No, absolutely. Yeah, the Black Phone too. I mean, I feel like when the first one came out, it was like with all the what was the official like term? The shadow kids? Like what was the official like the kids that like the ghosts, the kids that passed away that like, were
Yeah.
they the shadow kids or like
I feel like everyone called them the Ghost Boys, right?
the ghost
Like,
boys or like the
oh, those are
shadow
the Ghost
kids?
Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow
Oh
Kids.
man, everyone in the comments could be like, that was not what they were called. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like I saw Ghost Boys a lot in the comments, maybe. I don't know. It was a really long time
Absolutely.
ago.
Oh, they'll let us. The Black Phone fans are very passionate, so they're gonna let us know.
They are. Oh,
in
they
the
will.
comments.
They will tell us if we were wrong about that.
There's a question here. I mean, what is it like kind of seeing the reception from that first one and then seeing it kind of spill over to the second one? Like everyone's really exciting. And it's like one of those things like the Black Phone when it came out, like it was insane. You know what I mean? And now people are excited for the second one. Like, what can you tell me about the fans?
I mean, I still feel like I can't really grasp what happened with the first movie. I feel like that was so unexpected. Just the reaction from all of these people who loved it so much. I feel like we all knew it was such a great script and it was so well done, but I definitely think the reaction it got was very unexpected. And I will always be so grateful for the fan base. Like, seriously, wouldn't have had that reaction without them. So I really hope that the second one, I hope they love the second one as much as they loved the first, for sure.
When you work with your sister Violet on things, how much does it happen where it's kind of one of those like, well, in the Black Phone, we did this. Like, what do you think about this, Violet? Or like, Violet's like, well, Make It 2.0, we did this. What do you think about this, Madeleine? Like, does that ever happen a lot where you like compare both your like iconic titles and like see if it could be incorporated? Does that ever happen?
I don't know about like comparing, but I remember Violet is very honest. She's a very honest person. And it meant a lot to me that when she watched the second Black Phone movie, she said, Maddie, you are so cool. I want to play you in a movie, or I want to be like Gwen in a movie. So I feel like coming from your little sister, it was just, it meant a lot. It made me very emotional. And I'm very glad that she had that reaction going into it. Because I was, when you do when you do a movie, I feel like when you pour your heart and soul into it and get so into a character, you really hope that people love it as much as you do or respect the work that you put into it. And so having my little sister love it as much as I do was very important to me. And I'm so glad she had that reaction.
That's the best. That's awesome. Yeah. And then last question before we wrap up. I mean, there was a lot of like the trailers were out, right? And Gwen's hair is different. It's short.
Yes.
And when did you find out that you were going to maybe have to get like a haircut or like shorter hair? Like when was that specifically?
Okay, here's a funny story actually. In the first movie, Gwen was supposed to have short hair. But when Scott saw my hair on set one day, or it was during a costume fitting, and I had my hair in these two braids, and he saw it. I walked out of the costume room, and he was like, wait, Maddie, I love that hair. That's the hair we're going to do for Gwen. Scratch the short hair. We're going to do that. And I was like, yes, I didn't have to cut my hair. But then, so going into the second movie, I knew he was going to have Gwen change up her look in some way. I kind of figured he was going to have her have short hair. I didn't think it would be a pixie cut for sure. That kind of caught me off guard. But no, it was really fun. I loved getting to change my look to play a character, especially a character that I care about so deeply. And I feel like it really helped me feel very immersed in Gwen and all the situations and trauma that she goes through in the second movie and that she's been through in the past. I feel like it helped me connect to her on another level. It felt like I was just slipping into her, like into the character. It was awesome.
That was a big reveal because I think you all did a very good job where like when that like trailer came out or those first looks came out and everyone saw like Gwen's like short hair, like I think a lot of people were like, oh my God. Like I don't think a lot of people had that on their bingo card.
No, I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card. I didn't have it on my bingo card either. I was really nervous to see people's reactions to Gwen's hair. I was hoping that they would love it. I've seen a lot of very sweet comments about it, so I'm happy that a lot of people liked it, but I definitely think that it caught most people off guard for sure.
Absolutely, and I can't wait for people to check out the Black Phone 2 in theaters just in time.
Same.
Spooky season, it's perfect.
October 17th.
October 17th. Man, it's so great chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Great chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then they could look out for if they gotta look out. A Popternative might have some cool things posted, right? Yeah.
I feel.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. Previous episodes. Till next time, this is Madeleine McGraw and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.